And just like that, the man who once styled himself as Mr. Integrity is now in the political furnace, trying to sweat off a scandal so thick it's staining every inch of number 10. Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of Britain, is facing a reckoning, not from his rivals, but from a growing storm of public outrage centered on his murky relationship with billionaire media mogul Lord Wahid Ali. This isn't just some harmless donor dinner or handshake with a deep-pocketed backer. We're talking designer wardrobes, penthouse sleepovers, and a level of personal pampering no British Prime Minister has dared to flaunt. Until now, Lord Ali isn't just funding campaigns. He's funding lifestyles. We're talking about £32,000 in high-end clothing for Starmer alone. Throw in a £2,400 pair of glasses and £5,000 in wardrobe upgrades for Starmer's wife, Victoria, and you'd think Labour had merged with Vogue. But it doesn't stop there. Lord Ali generously opened up his £18 million Covent Garden penthouse to the Starmers during the 2024 campaign. Starmer claimed it was a quiet place for his son to study for GCSEs. Sure, just your average teenager hitting the books from a chandelier-lit Soho suite. And Prime Minister in living memory has accepted such personal luxuries from one billionaire donor. And no, these aren't just gifts, they're chess pieces in a broader game of influence. The bigger problem? Starmer didn't even report some of these lavish offerings on time. Parliamentary rules require declaration within 28 days. He delayed, then delayed some more. It was only after journalists started poking around that his team scrambled to submit the paperwork, late. Very late. And then came the bombshell. Lord Ali, despite holding no government position, received a temporary security pass to 10 Downing Street. Let that sink in. The man who bankrolls Starmer's wardrobe also has clearance to stroll into Britain's seat of power. Critics quickly dubbed the scandal passes for glasses. It's almost too on the nose. If that nose is wrapped in designer specs, if this reeks of a backroom deal, you're not alone. Tory leadership contender Robert Jenrick has called for an official investigation. But the one who really lit the match under Starmer's seat was George Galloway. In a fiery parliamentary speech, Galloway didn't just accuse Starmer of poor judgment. He suggested the Labour leader is compromised, bought, and steered by a billionaire's influence. According to Galloway, this isn't just about donations. It's about strategy, policy, and a backdoor pipeline from Lord Ali's business empire into Labour's decision-making machine, and this isn't political theater. Galloway backed up his claims with alleged leaked documents and insider accounts, suggesting Lord Ali helped shape Labour's digital campaigns, advised on appointments, and even influenced the think tanks that craft Starmer's public image. If true, we're not just dealing with a generous supporter. We're dealing with a puppet master operating behind the curtain. The tragedy? Much of the public believes it. Not because the evidence is airtight, but because trust in Westminster is already running on fumes. When the average British household is struggling to pay the electric bill and NHS waiting lists stretch into oblivion, a Prime Minister lounging in an £18 million donor-owned penthouse feels like a betrayal carved in marble. The optics aren't just bad, they're catastrophic. Starmer, for his part, insists nothing improper happened. He says everything was above board, that these weren't taxpayer-funded indulgences, that Lord Ali's help came from friendship and shared ideals, not from a desire to purchase influence. He's even repaid £6,000 in hospitality costs, promised to tighten ministerial codes, and offered vague reassurances about future transparency. But none of that cuts through. Not when he built his 2024 campaign on the promise of cleaning up government, rooting out cronyism, and holding power to account. Now that promise looks like another broken vow. A red tie over a rotting system. What makes this scandal uniquely corrosive is the personal nature of the gifts. This isn't about funding leaflets or hiring canvassers. It's about luxury eyewear, custom-tailored suits, and private luxury residences. This is patronage dressed in couture. And it raises the most damning question of all. Who really runs Britain? The people, or the billionaires with backdoor keys to number 10? Let's take a step back and examine the man behind the money. Lord Wahid Ali isn't just a Labour donor. He's a media mogul with a sprawling empire. He co-founded Planet 24, the production company behind Big Breakfast and Survivor. He made millions from fashion retailer ASOS. He's been a Labour insider since the Tony Blair era, having been ennobled in 1998. Since 2022, he's effectively served as Labour's chief fundraiser, orchestrating the financial scaffolding that lifted Starmer to power, and now, reports suggest he's been shaping Labour policy from behind the scenes. For instance, he allegedly intervened to block a 2023 Labour proposal banning foreign political donations, a rule that would have limited the influence of people like Elon Musk and other wealthy foreigners backing rival parties like Reform UK. In other words, Lord Ollie might have helped rig the playing field to preserve his own influence while handicapping others. When Starmer defends these gifts as innocent tokens from a supportive friend, many aren't buying it. Because this isn't just about Lord Ollie. It's about an entire political system where money talks louder than manifestos, and voters have had enough. According to polling data, over 60% of Brits now believe politicians serve donors before they serve citizens. Can you blame them? This scandal has also thrown Britain's political funding system into sharp relief, and it doesn't compare well globally. In Canada, individual political donations are capped at around $1 700 CAD. In Germany, any large political donation must be reported in real time. Meanwhile, in the UK, billionaires can throw around millions with barely a whisper of oversight. It's like the Wild West with red boxes and ministerial limos, and while the Electoral Commission has sounded the alarm about this unchecked donor influence, little has changed. Until now, perhaps. Because this scandal isn't going away quietly. If George Galloway's speech was the spark, then the ensuing media frenzy is the inferno. Every day of silence from number